So we're going to have to rely on Congressman Aderholt a lot to help us do the things that Senator Shelby had been doing all these years in the Senate. So thank you for your leadership of our delegation. Thank you for the leadership and your collaborative attitude towards everything that we do.
At this time, it is my honor and pleasure to welcome Congressman Aderholt. We're so excited to have him represent the 4th District. He's been a great friend and very helpful to the city of Gunterville, as I know he has to all of you in here. So please welcome Congressman Aderholt.
Thank you, Mayor. It is great to be here in Gunterville and to be here at City Harbor. And while this is an impressive development, and I am so honored to have a chance to be with the mayors and members of the council across the 4th Congressional District. And let me just say, Greg, thank you for your leadership, and also all those that are at the league. They do a great job in making sure that cities are have the resources they need and well represented, not only in Montgomery but also in Washington. So we appreciate the work that you do. Also, I want to thank you for rescheduling. I think this was originally supposed to have been last week, and y'all were kind enough to reschedule so I could be here, and I really appreciate that. So thanks for doing that. My staff is actually here, or several of my staff's here. Would they just stand up and let me, so everybody could recognize you? Good. We've got Matt and Carson that does works on our communications, and then Paul Housel that works out of our office in Jasper, but he's across the district. Carrie Knott, my chief of staff, who is here in the that lives here in Guntersville, and is that it? So we're glad they could join us today and to be out here. And I know those that have come out of the Washington office were certainly glad to be here. But I want to say the league holds a special place in my heart, going back many, many years ago. And I was mentioning it to Greg a little bit earlier. When I first started practicing law, just out of law school, I was asked to be the municipal judge for my hometown of Haleville. And I served 4 years in that role as municipal judge. And as most of you know, a lot of the work and a lot of the resources that come for the municipal judges come through the League of Municipalities. And so I have fond memories of attending events that were sponsored by the League of Municipalities even before I was elected to Congress. I've never served in the role as mayor or the member of the council, but serving as municipal judge, working for the city, had a chance to work with the league during that time. And matter of fact, I popped in my head a little early when I was thinking about it. One of my fondest memories was going to one of the state meetings, and I don't know if you still do this, Greg, but you'll have some well-known speaker or guest that is well-known to come and be there. And the guest, the particular time that I was there as a young lawyer and municipal judge, was that you had that particular weekend was Barney Fife. And it was really the Barney Fife. It was Don Knotts. And I still remember that. And I think I got a photo with him just not long before he passed away. So having a chance through the league to meet Don Knotts was a big deal for me. So especially growing up watching Andy Griffith as a child. But it is, I appreciate the work that you do, and as also as my role as member of Congress. One of the highlights that I get a chance to do is to work with you when y'all make your Washington trip. Now I know every municipality isn't always able to come to Washington during the fly-in, and usually in March, but many of you that are here today, I know we're here for fly-ins in the past. And it is a great opportunity for us to have a chance to see you up there and to get a chance to visit. Hopefully we won't have the problem that we had back in March. We had a great dinner at one of the steakhouse in Washington, and the lights went out. And so we ate not by candlelight but by phone flashlights. But it worked out fine, and it was a great meal, and they served us. So it was really turned out fine, but we certainly won't have that problem today. But one of the things about that Washington trip, and like I said, not everyone I know can always work it into their budget or their schedule to be up there, but it is a great opportunity to have a chance to sit down and to visit with you up there. With 15 counties in the, all or part of 15 counties in the 4th Congressional District, Greg, I don't know the numbers, but we've probably got close to 100 municipalities. I don't know if you know the number, but.
Today, we have,
No, how many municipalities are in the 4th Congressional District?
I don't know that.
Yeah, it's probably, I was figuring it's probably close to 100. And so obviously it's difficult to get around to every municipality and get a chance to personally get a chance to know every mayor and every city councilman, even though I enjoy doing that and I try to do that. But that's another, like I said, when you come to Washington, that's a great time to sit down, and we usually have a meal together and have some meetings up there. So, but thank you for the work that you do and the time and the work that you do for your municipality. One thing that I think is important to know is the work that we try to do and help working with you and on the federal issues where we can be of help. And I know a lot of the issues don't deal with federally. They're not federal issues that you deal with, but a lot of times there are issues federally. And just as Mayor Dollar just spoke about the issue that with this facility here, and I'm glad where we can be of help that we're able to do so. You have been a strong ally for our communities, and I hope that we have also been an ally and an asset to you as well. And of course, you are hands-on. You're where the rubber meets the road, and you are where the people you serve is right next door to you, and you see them on a daily basis. So the work that you do is so important, and I appreciate the work that you do on a daily basis. I've always been a supporter of strengthening our local governments and empowering them to lead based on the needs of each unique municipality. And I've always sought to ensure that the federal government can help where it can, but also to make sure the government gets out of the way when it should. You know much more what you need for your municipalities than someone in Washington, D.C. does. And so we look to you for guidance and direction. We never want to come in and mandate what you should do, or at least I try to make sure I don't ever vote for mandates that cause you to do something that somebody in Washington or bureaucrat that works out of Washington, D.C. wants you to do. So the laws that we pass are sometimes very broad in nature, and they apply to the nation as a whole, but you set the regulations and you set the laws for your municipalities, and that's the way it should be. And I think we have a shared vision for a stronger Alabama overall, and certainly a stronger a vision for a stronger 4th District. We serve the people that we represent, the people that we love, the people that we go to church with, that our kids go to school with, and I'm excited to see a lot of the work that we've done over the last just over the last year. And just this past year alone, there's been several things that I want to point out that we've accomplished that I think is noteworthy. We've seen airports in Muscle Shoals, in Fayette, and my hometown of Haleville that's received grants for improving infrastructure. We saw healthcare facilities in Parrish, Alabama, and Walker County. Gadsden and Etowah County get funding to keep their facilities up to date and to continue offering rural health care to the communities. And just recently, it was announced that there'll be funding for $2 million for a railroad overpass in the city of Sheffield that is going to be very important not only for the traffic but for first responders' ability to get through and arrive on the scene to help those in need. So those are just a handful of the projects that we've been able to work with on a federal level. And some of those have been a long time in coming, and also there's a lot more issues that we want to help out with that I know that really is important to have a federal helping hand. I know there's a lot of issues where you can be there on the ground doing it, but sometimes there's issues that go beyond what is sometimes possible for a municipality. especially if it's a small municipality in the state of Alabama, to do. And that's where we want to come and be a partner with you in working on those issues. We're always happy to help with the mayors and with members of the council, community leaders, and projects anywhere we can be of help. And I believe there is a federal role working with municipalities. And I also think that that can play hand in hand with a common sense conservative policy. There are certain things that we know that a private company or a private individual or a business cannot do alone, and we have to depend on federal resources for it. And that's where working with our delegation where I want to be of help. And I know we have Senator Tuberville's office that's represented here today. Of course, Senator Shelby's office have been great partners. And just as Mayor Dollar mentioned a few minutes ago, when Senator Sessions served in the United States Senate working on this project as well. So I know I can speak for my colleagues that serve in the Senate, Senator Shelby and also Senator Tuberville, that they certainly want to be that helping hand and work on these projects whenever possible. I serve on the Appropriations Committee, serve on 3 subcommittees. The Appropriation Committee is that committee that funds the different agencies and departments across the federal landscape. And I have a seat on the Ag Committee and also on the Defense Committee, but also on the Commerce, Justice, and Science Subcommittee. I'm the lead Republican there. And if things go well in the fall and the Republicans take control, then I will have an opportunity to hopefully take the gavel and be the chair of that subcommittee. So it'll give me a chance to work even more closely on some projects that I really would like to see us work together on. And those subcommittees that I mentioned are subcommittees that I think are very helpful to the state of Alabama, and in particular that have a big bearing on the 4th Congressional District. I believe it's important that we get rid of red tape for the private sector and that we limit government reach in business. Make sure that taxes are low, and make sure that we incentivize companies to remain or return to the United States, and make sure that we do everything we can for economic recovery. I know inflation has been a great strain not only on this district but across the state of Alabama and really across the nation. And someone was mentioned or a little bit earlier, some of the policies that we see coming out of Washington, D.C., I'm not sure is the best timing. We saw President Biden with the $300 billion rollout of the college loan forgiveness plan. And but there's a lot of folks here in the 4th District that has never participated in a college loan program, and there's a lot that have already paid it off and that will not benefit, but yet will be on the line for paying it. So there's a lot of issues that we need to address in Washington, and hopefully we can work to get those issues addressed in the very near future. But I think all of us, whether you're in a very small town across the 4th District in Alabama or whether you're in a more larger city, it's important that we do everything we can to create jobs. And one thing that I have tried to work on is make sure that we pay attention, that we don't become too reliant on China, not only for manufacturing goods, but also for critical minerals that's used for national defense. And that's something that I hope that our state, our district, and certainly our nation can work with other countries that are friendly to the United States, so that we're not dependent on the China and other hostile countries and be dependent on them. And I also want to say that expanding rural broadband has been a real priority for us. And I know several of the legislators in this room have worked on that on the state level, and it has really been a partnership between the federal and the state and working together and trying to make sure that rural broadband is to all of our communities. High-speed internet is a must for a growing community, and not only for the economy, but also for education and also for health care. And I think, as you well know, that COVID made that real up close and personal for so many people, and saw the real need for it. So I think we're at a crucial time where there is an incentive for people to come together behind rural broadband. And this is one of those unique issues that really transcends party. Democrats and Republicans, there's very few issues in Washington these days that Democrats and Republicans can agree on, but this is one of them. Because they understand that rural broadband is very important, and there's so many of our rural areas that cannot continue to thrive and even survive without rural broadband. Used to having broadband was a nice thing to have. Now it's essential that you have it. It's just like going back 100 years ago, electricity was probably a nice thing to have, but could you imagine today trying to start a business and not have any electricity? So that is something that I look forward to working with you on, and for your areas that don't already have this program, that we can do what we can. The Reconnect program was a program that I helped create when I chaired the subcommittee of appropriations back a few years ago, and that has literally put hundreds of millions of dollars across the nation, across the state of Alabama and the 4th District, so that everyone can be connected as much as possible. And my goal would be that the 4th Congressional District of Alabama is the most connected rural congressional district in the United States of America, and we're well on our way toward that. And again, I just want to close in saying it's a real honor for me to be here today, and I know a lot of people getting discouraged of what goes on in Washington sometimes and very frustrated. But when I go to different places, people are always share that concern with me, and I understand that concern, and believe you me, I know I'm up there. But I remind myself that this nation, I believe, has weathered a lot of storms in the past. And I think the Lord has had his hand on this nation for many, many years, almost 250 years to be exact, and I'm encouraged that he will continue to do that. So again, thank you allowing me to work for you in Washington. I love my job. It is an honor for me to represent the 4th Congressional District, and whether it's a big issue like trying to get funding for an overpass or to get funding for some particular water project or highway, or whether it's simply to help some veteran to get their veterans claim or their Social Security claim to make sure that they're not overlooked. All of those are very important to me. So again, thank you for letting me work for you. May God bless our state, and certainly God bless the 4th Congressional District of Alabama. Thank you very much.